Hello everyone, I am Livet Mzinganyama from Zimbabwe. I want just to reflect on the global training on climate change that is being hosted by Oxford Net Zero and the Global Youth Coalition. On my reflection, I just want to thank them for setting up or for organizing such an amazing training for the young people so that they have the knowledge that they need to probe or to push for climate justice, to push for a climate action for the whole world. I just want to thank them for the setup that they've just built for us. It's an opportunity for us to learn and to get more information that we need as young people to probe or to propagate the issue of climate change. From the first session that was done by Miles, I got a lot and I was overwhelmed by the fact that we were getting that any experienced information about net zero. When I was when I first heard about the word net zero, I used to think that it's something that is not realistic or something like that. But when it was explained, it given me an opportunity to understand that net zero is really achievable and it can be done as soon as possible when the leaders have agreed to take action. And I get to understand that for us, we don't actually need net zero by just stopping, but there is no also need for geological net zero, where there are other options to actually contract to absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere back into the geosphere where it was produced. So I just really appreciate the fact that this is coming to us at the right moment when young people and while the global leaders are going forward for the COP28, where we are thinking that we are going to get resolution on how they are going to do the net zero. And I was also overwhelmed by the fact that we did have a presentation by our Diana where she was presenting certain artistic things, certain artistic pieces where she was sharing about who we are in terms of climate change. And I was almost crying about it because it was so touching and it was so like it was driving a lot of energy in me, and I was starting to realize who are we in terms of how are we responding to climate change, in terms of how we are doing things that are harming our nations, that are harming our planet. Then coming to another presentation, the last presentation that was done for the COP 2018, the COP system. I didn't really understand about the COP. I used to think that it is just a conference. But getting to this first session, I'm now understanding that the COP is not just a session, but it's a series of events that happen. Maybe they started right now. The Bonny conference that is happening in June is the beginning of the COP. And I'm now understanding why it is important for us to be present before the COP, and to be present at the COP, and to be present even after the COP, because the COP is a negotiation process, so it is not a one-day process. So I understand the issue of that we have the blue zone and the green zone. In the blue zone, I get to understand that in the blue zone, this is where the places where negotiations got to happen. And for you as an individual to enter the green zone, the blue zone, you need to have a badge. I understand a lot about it because I know most of us will be overwhelmed to see applications online saying you can attend the COP, and we would think that when going to COP we are just going there and we are automatically into the blue zone. And I understand also the issue of grouping of nations at the COP, that they are saying they have certain groups that push for certain goals. So I understand that the stronger the groups, the more result that we see. And I wanted to thank Oxford Net Zero, and I want to thank the Global Youth Coalition for setting up such a wonderful thing, a training that we need as young people to be capacitated. Even though we didn't participate in the COP, but one way or the other will contribute to the final outcomes that we need to see as young people, as people in the community, as people in these countries. I want to thank them for their inclusivity. They have just allowed us from the global south, from the global north, everywhere. We have been given a chance to participate into a global forum we are really appreciate that as a young person. As for me, I'm really happy about it, and I'm overwhelmed to be part of these sessions up until the last. Thank you.